Hello my fellow mad hotties, welcome back to another styling video. Today we are going to be styling once again the Lady Gaga set, and especially incorporating part of her set that we haven't incorporated yet, which, as you can see here, I realized I haven't gone in with the meat dress because I realized I was messing around with it before and realized that you couldn't add patterns, and so I was like, okay, let's try not to go with dark colors. But in the end, you will see it took over me and I did go in with dark colors. And we're gonna speed up the process a little bit here because, once again, no inspiration, so I just went in with whatever fit the vibe of the fit of the meat dress. That's how I was styling in regards to how I was going to style the meat dress. But I don't think for this one I ended up using the meat dress. I think with my second fit I use it, but with this one specifically I ended up using the skirt in the end, but it looks good. But as you can see, as we're going on, I do keep the construction of the fits. I actually do keep the top, and I do believe I do keep the meat dress. It really just depends. I can't really remember. And instead of boring you guys to death with something I didn't actually go in with, I thought I would just take it out and show you exactly what I went in with. So I actually kept this construction of the dress, and like I said, I did go in with dark colors because these fits, especially the top middle part, I realized that it just looks so put together when it's very dark, when it's used with the dark colors. But see, the thing is, I may have been using dark colors all this time, but I make it look different, and that's the point. Not everyone needs to realize that I've been using the same colors, except you guys definitely do. So I do in fact go in, like I said before, I go in with the skirt, because as you'll see in a moment, I'm going to add a different pattern, which, as you can see here, it might be dark colors, but we added some funkiness to it too by adding a different pattern. And because I took too long with just figuring out what I wanted to do with my fit, I just went in with one of my saved makeup looks and then just kind of went with the vibes of the colors of the outfit. And I did, and you'll see in a moment, I did add like a tinge of like ginger gold. I don't know how to explain it, like copper, excuse me. And as you can see here, once again, I am speeding up the process because this is a little lash hack from Fiona DTI. Please go follow her. She has amazing hacks, and it just works perfectly with every look, especially if you're doing like edgy looks. Now onto the hair here. This is another process that took a moment because I was like, I need to use the meat hair like just once. And I was like, I'm going to use it today, and just got to figure out how I'm going to use it. And then I realized that we have a lot of wavy and curl patterns, and I was like, why not use it? So as you can see, so far I layered all of the curly and the wavy patterns that we have so far within the new Lady Gaga set, and honestly it turns out beautifully in the end, as you can see from the pictures, because you gotta think of like the thickness of the waviness. Like sometimes you do have to play around with it to see what curl patterns. Like this has really thick curl patterns, so I went in with the thickest curl pattern I could possibly get, and it goes well, and it looks funky now, but once you color it in and you scale it around, it looks great. So as you can see, so far I layered all of the curly and the wavy patterns that we have so far within the new Lady Gaga set, and honestly it turns out beautifully in the end, as you can see from the pictures, because you gotta think of like the thickness of the waviness. Like sometimes you do have to play around with it to see what curl patterns. Like this has really thick curl patterns, so I went in with the thickest curl pattern I could possibly get, and it goes well and it looks funky now, but once you color it in and you scale it around, it looks great. Now on to the accessories. I was like, okay, for the meat with the meat hair was not looking right with what I was doing. So I was like, okay, let's try something else. Not a big hat because that's what we've been doing all the time. I was like, let's go for the next extravagant hat, which is the pirate hat. So it looks fire in the end. Now this one was actually, I think, one of my favorite ones because I was like, why not build like a ball gown with the Lady Gaga set and like make it look funky? I think I did that sort of with the beginning, with the caution tape one I did with my girl Miss Green. But I was like, okay, let's add something different than we did last time and make it look like a completely different outfit. And so I was like, let's add the armor on top with the extra sleeves, just construct it, make it look like an actual dress, and then add the patterns. And like I said before in my last videos, I love constructing the outfit first to make it look like an actual outfit before I put in the patterns, so that I know I don't have to go in with anything else, so I'm not missing anything. And I was like, okay, once again, I'm gonna try out the cultural patterns and try something different. And we went with the feathers, and this kind of gave me like parrot, but I was like, I'm loving it. We're going to, at first I was like, oh, maybe we make the whole dress with the one pattern. And then I realized with some of like the outfits, you can't use the pattern on it, and which was totally okay because we managed to make it work out in the end. And of course, we added in my favorite dress. I was like, why not add in my favorite dresses and outfits and make it into one big ball gown? And honestly, when you have the Pixie Uru dress, I think in non-VIP or with any other coded dress for my non-VIP people, definitely use that to layer it out because it looks like a thicker ball gown, which I love now, and definitely use this for the Lady Gaga set. And speeding up the process a little bit because I don't want you guys to have to like constantly see me struggling just going back and forth, unless you guys want me to make longer videos like this and see me describe in depth of my thought process behind of how I build my outfits, then I won't mind doing that. But for this video, for now, until I get more responses, I'm going to try to make this as short as I possibly can. So now into my favorite part, which is the makeup. We just went in with something completely different. I was like, okay, I actually went in with this makeup inspo here since I took so long with the dress. I was like, I want to go in with this inspo because it actually matches the vibe of my dress and it just fit perfectly. It literally popped up on my Pinterest before I put this look together and I was like, this is tea. So you'll see how I do it, and I actually saved this later on for my makeup for when I do the challenges, so I'm not rushing. And that's why I love doing my makeup combo videos for you guys. So if you guys have custom makeup, you don't ever have to rush again and do makeup, because instead of rushing, you already have fire makeup looks saved. And we're going through the process a little bit more because since the makeup look is actually a little bit different and doesn't fully fit the colors of my dress, and that's what I wanted to do, I was like, okay. Now on with the hair here, I knew I wanted to do something really funky, but something that was short that would just like not take over the detail of the dress. And I managed to figure out what I wanted to do in the end. As you can see, I'm adding all these like different hairstyles in one, and it was, oh my god, the back and forth was crazy, but we managed to work it out in the end. I was like, okay, let me try to use some braids. As I said in my last hair combo video, I truly believe we need more toggles for the braids. Like, they don't even need to add new hairstyles, just toggle it and we can adjust it and move it however we want to, because that'd be so cool. And now, as you saw, I did go back in with makeup. I did add some extra gold detailing to it, and as you can see, the vibes are coming together. I even did ask my little sister, I was like, hey, what do you think of this? Does the hair look crazy? She was like, no, it looks just fine. And I was like, okay, I got the yes vote from my sister, so we're good to go with the hair. And unlike last time, I did remember to go with the hair accessories and actually not delete it, because that's actually what happened last time. But as you can see here, we're using this bejeweled crown here, and I didn't want the whole headband to show. I just wanted the gems to show within the hair. It did take a lot of practice to figure this out because I was like, okay, like it was getting a little frustrating because I was just like, I just want to hurry this up and get out because the lag was insane and you don't see it. But before this, I was in and out of the game for a moment, which is why I'm posting this edit late at night. But even with the back and forth, there was honestly no stress because I actually love styling these fits. Like, this is the best thing to ever come out of Dress to Impress. These fits just, you best believe I'll be doing more things with high fashion with the Lady Gaga set for sure. I'm thinking doing maybe John Galliano next. Maybe that could be for next time, but you guys will just have to wait and see. And this was the finishing look for this one. This one was actually my favorite because it did take some trial and error, and I do love fits that take me a moment because they turn out beautifully in the end. Now for this very last look here, I was like, I need to use the meat dress at least once. And it took me a moment to realize that the meat dress does not allow patterns, so I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. And also, I don't think it colors the whole dress too, so if you want to use like brighter colors with the dress, it only brightens like that little streak part of the meat dress. So I was like, okay, we're just going to have to just make this all one color. And in the end, it doesn't actually look too bad. I did go with a dark color, but as you can see, I'm layering as I said before, as I was going to. Most of these are actually non-VIP and they're coded items, except for the Valentine's Day skirt with the 2 bows. And I think that was pretty much it with the layering. It was just like a lot of mixture with the non-VIP and the VIP. And I lied, there was a little bit more extra layering here. I was like, I wanted to go with the style of the meat dress, and that's why I added the jellyfish skirt, and I added the Valentine's Day strap dress. And I've been obsessed with this dress ever since I realized you can make a 2-piece hat with it. I've never stopped using it. And now, as you can see here, we're getting into coloring the whole look. As soon as I started coloring this in, I knew exactly how this look was going to end up, and I knew that I wanted to at least like give some like a neon color, like a dark color, and then make it neon. Because as you can see, the swirls in the breastplate from the spring set, which is non-VIP, for the swirls, I was like, that's what I'm going to use it for, and you're going to see it in a moment. And you see, this is exactly what I meant when I wanted to add the neon color to it. I added a dark blue instead, and it ended up looking fabulous in the end. But now onto the hair. So since we were doing like a funky, edgy style with the outfit, and I didn't want to take along with the hair, I was like, let's go in with the Pinterest hair inspo. And that is what I did, and that was with this picture here. I was like, okay, this is going to be a challenge, but I loved how it worked out in the end because it actually almost looked like the picture. As you can see, all these combos together, I was like, okay, do I go with an all black look or go platinum blonde? Because I keep thinking and acting like I'm a blonde, but I'm not. And look at that. I told you, practice makes perfect. And the end result is great. So back to the dressing room, I was like, okay, let me add another piece of layering on top because I was like, something is missing here. And I went in with my favorite item from the Rich Girl set, which is the top that I like to toggle from the jacket itself. Now we're finally on to the makeup, and once again, because I was taking so long figuring out what I wanted to do with this fit, I was like, we're going in with the inspo, and we went in with this exact inspo here. It is giving kind of like kawaii in like 60s, but I was like, it's kind of also edgy in a way with like the upside down lashes, and I was like, this is going to eat hard with this fit. And I actually copied the girl's eyeshadow, like the glossiness of the eyeshadow. As you can see, it's like a little dark. She's got like the thick dark liner. That's what I wanted to go for with this. And now I'm looking back, I'm like, okay, I could have possibly used like the dark blue liner, but I feel like it's still late. And now onto the very last part of this fit. I was like, okay, we need to add a little bit more detailing, and I was like, this beauty top look fire, since as you could see in those little small sections of like my boots and the jellyfish gradient, you can see the dark blue neon, and that just kind of ate within itself. And also, I wish I showed more of it, but I also did layer the meat boots on top of the non-VIP Doc Marten boots, and this was the finished look. I actually loved this fit down. I surprised myself with all these fits. It was a work in progress, but I had a great time, and I hope you guys enjoyed them. And please comment below which one of your fits was your fave, and I shall see you guys in the next one.